Istanbul, formerly known as Byzantium and later Constantinople, is one of the world's greatest cities and the biggest one in Europe. As the only city spanning across two continents, Europe and Asia, Istanbul has been situated at a crossroad of civilizations for thousands of years. As such, today it is the place where European spirit meets Islamic culture, where Asia and Europe are interconnected, making it rich in cultural influences, impactful history, and majestic beauty. One of the best ways to experience Istanbul's top activities and highlights? Walking without a fixed plan. Although there are plenty of things to see and do, you will love just wandering the streets and taking in the place with all of your senses. You can take breaks in the zillion things you'll see along the way as you make your way from one neighborhood to the other, each one offering a distinct history, style, and culture. If you're looking to stay away from the malls of Istanbul, head to Nişantaşı. Filled with chic shops, antiques, and exclusive restaurants, it's the perfect place to experience the modern and hip side of this iconic city. Foodies, fashionistas, and artists all flock here to enjoy the cooler, more contemporary side of Istanbul, making it the ideal setting for your morning walk. The Turkish invented brunch a long time ago. They just called it Turkish breakfast. Let's just say, as it comes to the most important meal of the day, they get super serious. Walking in Nişantaşı, we were paralyzed with choice on where to brunch, because each cafe was more impressive than the next. But Heel and Foods seemed to combine the Turkish tradition with the mindful, holistic health trend of today. Our choice was more than justified by the vibrant feast that ensued. Constructed in the 6th century, the majestic Hagia Sophia is an architectural masterpiece with unique historical significance. It is considered one of the world's greatest monuments, as well as the most important Byzantine structure ever built. The Hagia Sophia was built in what was then Constantinople, from the years 532 to 537. It is served as a cathedral for more than a whole millennium, after which it was converted into a mosque when the Ottomans invaded Constantinople in 1453. This is when the minarets were added. Inside you can see Christian mosaics next to monograms of the 4 caliphs, wall paintings showing different emperors, and even Vikings inscriptions on the gallery balustrade. It's one of the best ways to witness hundreds of years of ancient history. It's just incredible to think of the amount of history this place went through. It has survived riot, fire, and an earthquake. It served as the main residence and administrative headquarters of the Ottoman sultans in the 15th and 16th century. If walls could talk, this historic Ottoman palace would have endless tales and stories to tell. The large complex is entered through an imperial gate, then through to the four courts, the massive harem, and the imperial treasury. The palace is beautifully decorated with intricate mosaics and spectacular architecture. Culinary adventure is at the top of your travel itinerary, well then there is no other place like Istanbul. As it comes to tradition intertwined with modernity, have a go at the bountiful dessert shops that serve unimaginable variety of sweet and savory snacks whose names you wouldn't even try to remember. Please do enjoy some fresh fruit, the taste of which you will not find in any other large metropolitan city. I guarantee you, the best way to taste the city, so to speak, is to find a place which serves authentic food in a simple way. The unconventional art decor is simply a bonus. Try some dolma and do not leave without having had kebab of some sort. To take a ride on this body of water just to say you have sailed between two continents, seeing each side as you go by. Get a view of some of the large palaces from the water, take a break from walking around the city, and soak up the historic atmosphere. We were fortunate enough to get our own private boat tour, thanks to our fabulous local friends. Cheers to them! Our sunset agenda of climbing the impressive Galata Tower, which has long dominated the skies of Istanbul and can be seen standing high above the skyline from almost everywhere in the city, was pretty much destroyed by the amount of people that were lining up around it, having similar agendas, I imagine. Following our own flow, we made some great discoveries of our own, including a phenomenal vintage shop, a private tour of a 600-year-old building, and a rooftop view of the city that would beat that of a crowded touristy tower any day. No, we didn't get spectacular sunset shots, but we made some awesome memories and some just as awesome friends. A fine day in Istanbul would not be complete without a fabulous dinner. If there are two things the Turkish would take on a deserted island, that would be fish and rocket. And apparently they're so interconnected you simply cannot have one without the other. That is not to say that the table would not be filled with zillions of mezes to complete even the biggest foodie's culinary dream. And if you thought that dinners are a boring sit-down meal of polite conversation and niceties, think again. Along with fish and raka, Turkish love to sing and dance. What a better way to warm up for the after hours. And just when you thought that Istanbul is all about historic sites and phenomenal cuisine, we enter the after-hours section of our adventure. Super hip rooftop restaurant and bar with Peruvian-inspired cuisine and upper level for cocktails, views, and beats. Speaking of beats, if the underground ones are of your liking, well then be sure to pay a visit. A city of traditions, unique mix of cultural influences you won't find anywhere else. Mouth-watering food, incredible architecture, and some of the most welcoming and hospitable people. Steeped in centuries of history, Istanbul is an intriguing megapolis with fascinating places that is sure to mesmerize you in more ways than one.